folks. I hope you're all doing well today. It is a beautiful, beautiful day in the neighborhood. If you haven't seen the Mr. Rogers movie, it's something you should check out. Anyway, so I am doing this one on my own. Jocelyn is out with a friend doing friend things and having a good time for it. I got my new Andiamo shirt. It's actually one of those like really comfy things, so it's quite nice. If you want to grab one, there's a link below. You can go check it out, woltersworld.store. But yeah, so this is Jocelyn's writing here, so it was kind of cool. Anyway, I thought we'd get started talking about some of the fun that people are going to have over the winter break and holidays and stuff like that, because I know it's a really big time for traveling, and I'm actually putting together a video on the don'ts of Christmas travel, because there are some things you really need to think about when you are traveling at Christmas, not just about the traveling side of it, like the days you should go and not go and things like that, but also some of the mental sides of it, like how do I stay with my family for 5 days, and if there's a snowstorm, we're stuck in there, what do we do? Remember, uno is always a good answer, okay? So there is that. Excuse me. Oh, sorry. Sorry about that. KP, hey, I'm glad I could get some Wales videos out for you to help get some people out there. If you haven't been to Wales, people, it is a nature lover's dream. It is so cool. The hikes you can do and stuff like that. Actually, it's amazing for stargazing. If you go to Snowdonia in the north, it's a really beautiful place to check out. So definitely do that. Hey, Michael, good to see you on here as well. Steve, thank you for the help with the algebra. Try to help Caleb a little bit with his stuff. So luckily, I still know enough from back in the day that I can still help him a little bit. But I have to remember that teaching a 13-year-old math is a little different than teaching college students marketing. So have to work on that a little bit, but we'll get there. So, realistic. Hello, everyone in Canada. From Canada. Yes, hello, everybody from Canada. Nice to see you on here as well. Actually, I did find my Don'ts of Canada video, so I actually am editing that one together. So hopefully I can get that out in the next couple of weeks so we can have some fun with it. I also did a video. I had done a video on like how Canada and the U.S. are similar, because we actually do have a lot of similarities, but I was doing how they're different, but in a fun way. So I found that as well. So try to put those together, get a few more things out there. So trying to get that there. Let's see. Matt, going to Paris. Very nice. Flying in Delta One. I've never been in Delta One because you don't get upgraded into that. They limit it. You only get upgraded to like Comfort Plus or their business or first, but not Delta One. So let me know how it is, Matt, because that's pretty sweet. Let's see. Sam FW. Is Switzerland doable as an old teen that does something? Actually, I would say if you go to like to Interlaken, there's a lot of, old teens, young 20s. A lot of people go there for like canyoning and hiking and stuff like that. It's actually a really fun place to go. So yeah, you'd be fine. But I will tell you, you will need a not teenager budget to go there because it is a pricey place to go. So I'll just let you know that. Hey, Pedro, good to see you on here, buddy. KP asking about Marrakesh. Yes, we have been to Marrakesh. We were there in November last year. And it was a really nice experience. We have a couple of videos on there for Marrakesh and for Morocco. There's some more stuff we probably have that's coming out. So there are some stuff there. You have a good time. Remember, negotiate whenever you're buying stuff. So good luck with the negotiations, my friend. Let's see. Stephen Ward actually planned a trip around springtime, March, April-ish. Was in Japan back in May and fell in love. With that said, what's good value when it comes to solo travel? So here's one of the things. When you're solo traveling, I know compared to going when it's all four, when it's just me going or just Jocelyn going, it's like a free vacation because comparing with 4 people versus 1, it's a lot less. But when I look at kind of like affordable places to go, as a solo traveler, Southeast Asia is always an easy, cheap one to do. And so is South America. And the thing is, when you go there, you can stay in hostels and stuff like that. And there's other solo travelers that are out there trying to meet other travelers to have like a travel buddy for the day. Like, andiamo, let's go see stuff. And so that's what's kind of cool. I remember when I was doing South America a lot in my 20s. That was one of my favorite parts, just meeting travelers and having some travel buddies for 3 or 4 days. So you can definitely do like a South America or Asia just fine as a solo traveler at that time. So that's going to be good. Someone had said they missed a bunch of the travel chats. I'm glad they're on here. Oh, wow. Okay, so on the feed that you have over here is different what I have. I just got like 90 things just went by. So hopefully I haven't missed too many things. The gaming, oof, Brendan, happy early birthday. Hope it's not bad luck that I tell you that. Dominic, I'm glad you can be on here, buddy. I'm glad you can catch some of these. How many? Oh, so Nick Siskov, how many individual times have you traveled out of the country? It's hard to say because I lived about 12 years abroad. So I don't know how to count that as trips abroad. So aside from that, but now that we've lived back in the U.S. for about 9 years. This is our ninth year back in the U.S. as like living here full time. We probably get out of the country. I don't know. I probably get out of the country like 8 times, 9 times, 10 times a year. The kids probably get like five, six, something like that. So trying to get as much as they have that. Star Date, love the new shirt design. Thank you very much. This again, I want to tell you, Jocelyn made this. This isn't like a font. She actually drew this kind of stuff, so she's actually going to be creating the shirts because I know like you can only do. I understand you can only do so many Wolters World logo shirts. It's okay. It is okay. I'm not upset. So Jocelyn actually like this shirt here. Jocelyn actually designed that. There's actually a woman's one. And she's coming up with some other cool designs that we're going to come out with like, once a month or once every other month or something like that. So like, I don't want to ruin it because I think she should tell you guys about it because she's coming out with some really fun stuff. Because for those of you who don't know, Jocelyn's actually background, she's a Bachelor's of Fine Arts. And so she's in historic preservation and stuff like that, but very much an artsy person with a lot of creativity. It's fantastic to see her get to be able to use some of that now. So she's our Chief Creative Officer here at Wolters World. So that's really kind of a nice thing. Kurt Lewis, Delta Airlines the best. I do like them as well, my buddy. Kurt Lewis always asks, any New Zealand videos or tips? I have not been to New Zealand. I was an exchange student in Australia many years ago and had a really nice time. I know New Zealand is much more of there's a lot more nature there because, Australia is more desert. And New Zealand's more like, you saw Lord of the Rings. You've seen New Zealand. It's kind of, well, not seen it all, but, you can see how beautiful it is. So, like, that's one thing we're thinking about doing for Christmas next year is to head down to New Zealand and Australia and see that because I want to go back to Temora, New South Wales, where I was an exchange student, see my old family there and say hi to them. So should be pretty fun. Nick Demoso. Hey, Mark, leaving for Vienna next week as a solo traveler. Any advice? You have plenty of museums to check out when you are there. I would do a day trip over to Bratislava. It's like 45 minutes on the train to go over. It's super cheap to go over there. You can eat really well, actually stay really cheap too. So you might want to spend maybe a night or two over there to save some money, and it's really nice over there. No worries about the language or the money and stuff. You'll be fine when you're there, so it's a nice time. I would recommend that. MD Shippen Ahmed, I'm doing fine, my friend. Thank you very much for asking. Janet Tackett, any info on Palma de Mallorca? Man, the 17th Bundesland, I have not been, so I cannot tell you exactly what's there. Thank you, Allison, about the new shirt. I appreciate it. Jocelyn made that. Okay, Gerhard Bond, hello from Charleston, South Carolina. Be enjoying your travel videos. Thank you, Gerhard. I appreciate it. I actually was in Charleston a few times in my life. My brother actually lived to go into school down there, and so we checked it out many years ago, and I've just loved that town for a lot. Obviously, Savannah's more close to our heart because that's where Caleb was born and stuff there. But I still always have a nice place in my heart for Charleston. Michael Mon and Eric, my buddies, our members. Thanks, guys. Good to see you on here. The game in Oof, Brendan, have I ever been to Toronto? Yes, I have. Actually, we're doing on our website, woltersworld.com, I'm doing blogs of some of our older videos and trying to like put some more information on there. So I think like the 511 Hates of Toronto will be back out. We have a video. I mean, it's kind of an older video, but we have an updated blog that's going to come out. So if you want to see for the 25 days, leading up to Christmas, we're putting on a new blog every day. And then we're going to put out more videos. Like there's always going to be the usual Wednesday and Saturday. But I'm putting out Sunday videos as well. And then some other extra stuff. Like I put out an extra video for our members today about some of the beer locations and stuff like that in Tampa. Tomorrow will be just a short little video on like Lithuanian tipping and stuff like that. So I'm trying to get some more fun stuff out here during the holidays. So there's some more stuff to kind of chat about. Heath Runyon, thank you very much for the super chat, buddy. That's one of the things that got skipped over. Best foods in Barcelona. I'm there tomorrow. So Heath, you want pinchos, okay? So tapas in Spain, like the little snack things you have. The things you have in Barcelona are called pinchos. There's a little bread and there's all kinds of different toppings on top. You will have that with your cava. Okay, cava is basically like Spanish champagne. It's bubbly wine, and you go to the cava bars. And go to the cava bars in El Born. It's the neighborhood that's right next to Barrio Gótico. You'll have the Gothic neighborhood because you'll have a plenty of place to have the cava and have the pinchos and have a good time. I mean, and you don't even have to have dinner because you just have pincho after pincho after pincho. So do try a lot. Don't buy like 5 the same one. Just keep trying different ones and do that. And some of the places where you go, those have them for free, so you can have it with your drink. So have a good time. I'm jealous. Tell me how it goes. I've been to Barcelona a long time. Quite a few times. One of my best friends. It's funny, that town's actually got a couple best friends. So I got one best friend that was in my wedding. he lives all over the world, but his wife stays in Barcelona with her daughter. So they're there. And then another friend of mine who we went to school together and we still see each other quite often. We couldn't make it to the wedding, so he would have been at the wedding too. My buddy Magnus, he lives there in Barcelona as well. We're actually going to be back there next summer because Caleb is hopefully going to be doing a soccer camp there. So we'll be in Barcelona again to have some more fun there. So hope you have some fun there. Armin San Antonio, I have not been to the Philippines. I do want to go there. So that is one of those things we will eventually happen. Thank you, David Fernandez. We will try to keep up all the stuff, to keep the things going, keep the lights going, and keep the travel videos coming. Michael White, I have not been to Ukraine personally, so I can't tell you one way or the other. And, I don't like to give secondhand advice. I don't like to give firsthand advice. So that's what I'd say there. You can look on the U.S. State Department's suggestions or whatever country you're from. They'll actually have stuff that say, what things you watch out for. There's certain places that are fine. So there is that. Kartoffelhunden, I have not seen you forever on here. This is it's like Christmas for me. I'm seeing all these old names I haven't seen for a while. It's awesome. So Kartoffelhunden, Southeast Asia. There's the Thailand, Cambodia, Laos, Vietnam. Like those four, you can do a lot of stuff at a really good price, and you can get really good tickets to go down there. So that's why a lot of people head down that way. That would be kind of my go-to for going down to there. Okay, Steve K. going to Patagonia in Chile through Santiago this weekend. Any protester issues now? I don't know if there's anything now. I know there was some issues last week or a couple weeks ago and stuff like that, but I don't know about right now. Personally, I would go to the BBC's website because they have like a South America kind of part, and go in there and check and see if there should be some information for you there. Okay. Oh man, John Nyland. Hey Mark, going around Europe for 3 months solo by train. You lucky dog. Any train tips? Okay. So if you're doing the 3 months solo by train, I'm going to guess you're not doing Eurorail, which is fine because that much time you can take the slower trains and you can see a lot of stuff. I would say if you're going to be taking any of the fast trains in Spain or Italy or France, make sure you get your reservation. You have to have a reservation for that. But you don't necessarily always have to take the fast trains. Download the apps for Deutsche Bahn, bahn.de, and the whatever country you're going to be into. Just get the apps because then you don't have to print all the stuff out. You just have it on your phone and they'll beep it in. That makes life a lot easier. But you have a good time, man. Milo Didi, Argentina is in your plans. I have a bunch of Argentina videos actually that we are editing in the process now. The problem is I'm trying to edit too many videos at one time. And so I'm trying to figure out what should we put up next. So this morning I put out, we had a question from one of our patrons on Patreon because he was going to get engaged. He's like, Mark, I'm going to Istanbul and I want to ask my girlfriend to get married. Do you have any suggestions? And I did a video a long time ago, but I want to answer his question specifically. And so I put that video out. And so I'm trying to figure out what we should do next. I wanted, because we got the Andiamo shirts for Italian. So I kind of want to put an Italy shirt out or Italy video out this weekend on Saturday. But then I'm like, but it's Christmas time. And I've got a video on French Christmas traditions I want to put out. And it's hard to figure out what all the videos to put out. So I apologize if I don't get them out as soon as I wish I could. So Argentina will be coming. I have more of those out there. Do have one. The Love and Hates of Buenos Aires is already out. So there's some other stuff like that. Kurt Lewis, my favorite airline. It's Delta. Silly. Okay, this is actually everybody's a good question. Mini Apple's 100. Is it worth taking a 5-month-old to Orlando, or would he be too young? Well, what I always say is when you have little kids, and we started flying with our kids at 6 weeks each, okay? So you're not going to have a problem traveling with them. At that age, they're small enough that they just sit in the pumpkin seat and you're fine. So you actually get to have some time. So if you're going to go to Orlando, make sure you're going to Orlando for you and whoever you're going with. Okay, so you can enjoy it because the baby would just be along for the ride. Yes, they won't remember it. This is one of the things that I always kind of find sad because people are like, well, the babies won't remember it. I'm like, it's not about the babies remembering. It's about you remembering it. Because I can tell you, I still remember walking around Rome with Liam. We've been to Rome a lot of times. Okay, you've seen videos from all over Rome with us. And I have Liam, and he was 6 weeks old. And he's in the baby Bjorn in the front. I remember we walk around the corner and there's this Irish pub and all the people stop and then we hear they're like, look at the baby, because you don't see too many tiny babies in Italy. And this guy goes, wow, that's a tiny baby. It was so funny, but it was great. And I remember that, and we remember that. And the thing is, it's funny. You think the kids won't remember a lot of stuff. 5 months they don't remember, but Liam will still remember random things from when we lived in China, and he was 2 years old at the time. So it's kind of interesting how that is. So there's that. Armin, thank you very much. I'm glad you liked the show, man. That's really nice to hear. Let's see. Time reviews, cheapest and best hotels in Japan. I mean, you just got to look online for that. Like, we don't do a lot of like recommendations for hotels and restaurants because things change so often and prices change all the time, especially if you look at exchange rates. So what we like to do, especially with food, is we like to say, look, here's the food you should have. So you go and explore that, find restaurants that do have it. Because I mean, don't get me wrong, the Anthony Bourdain effect or the diners, drive-ins, and dive effect is fantastic. How, like Guy Fieri will go to these places and it will like really help that business out because people will go because they've seen it. But we want people to explore more and find their own little destinations. So we try to like just recommend like places to go see. So there is that. Okay, this is actually Hawkshaw Hawkins. Hello, travelers. Remember to look up the Real ID Act if traveling in the U.S. using a U.S. driver's license. Passports, global intermilitary ID can be used instead. Starts October 1st. This is a thing. October of next year, unless you have a star that identifies a real ID for your driver's license, you will not be able to fly within the U.S. unless you have a passport or something like that. So we always fly with our passports, even if we're going domestically. So make sure you have that kind of in there. Okay. To do Eric Brown, thank you for being a member, man. I appreciate it. Is a flight to Southeast Asia really expensive? Actually, no, it's not too bad. We were looking at flights in November, and it was the same. I mean, it's the same price as going to Europe and stuff like that. Sometimes you get better prices, so just look for deals, so you'll be okay. Kerbal Fesselwork. Hey, Mark, any tips on surviving Toronto mid-January? I really appreciate it. You're the best. Thanks, man. Layers, lots of layers, and if you think you need more clothes, have more clothes. Like that's why, I would go. I would have like this T-shirt on, and then I have my quarter zip on, and I have a jacket on, and I have a scarf and a hat and stuff like that. But the thing is, you're not outside all the time in Toronto. There's a lot of underground stuff you actually go into, like malls and transportation and stuff like that. So you'll be okay. You'll just be cold if you go outside. So there is that. Let's see. Oh, Scott Neal, my buddy. Good to see you, Scott. I got to get our video together too. Hey, Marcel Robinson from California. Thank you very much for the super chat, buddy. I really appreciate it. Oh, another one. Randy Amos. Hey, another greetings from Los Angeles. 2 California people. Thank you very much. I need to get it back out there. I'm trying to figure out when to fit in the schedule because we were supposed to go to LA last summer. And after we'd done like the 7 weeks abroad, I was supposed to be home for like 3 days and go to LA. And I remember I'm like, I'm going to die. I can't. I was just wiped out. So sometimes people ask, like, do you ever get tired of traveling? Like, I don't necessarily get tired of traveling. I just get tired. Oh, Michael White, thank you very much for the donation, buddy. I appreciate it. Hey, Leo in Boston. Leo's got a nice little Instagram channel where he does a lot of time-lapse stuff. It's kind of fun to watch if you're looking for him out there. So Sam FW, do you ever buy magnets? I used to buy magnets that were bottle openers, and then whenever I would give it to friends and stuff like that because that was like a nice little gift that people liked. Now I don't get the magnets so much. We always usually just get the paintings. We get like a painting from our trip. Like you see, there's that one from Venice, that's a painting, and then there's that one that's from Venice. If you go around our house, we have all these paintings that the painting was only like 20 euros, but the frame is a bit more from Hobby Lobby, But we find those things help us go back because I can like look around and be like, oh, that was our trip to Maine, and that was our trip to Connecticut when Caleb was learning stuff, and so it's really kind of nice. So there's that. Okay, Jennifer Olson. Hi, Mark. Hi, Jennifer. Do you have any tips for getting the most out of port cities for cruises? I just went on my first cruise and found it hard to get away from the cruise excursions. Okay, this is actually one thing. When I've done cruises as well, that is a tough thing not to do theirs because, like, if you're on the cruises excursions, you're guaranteed to get back and they're not going to leave you. Whereas if you do your own stuff, sometimes you're worried about that. One thing I recommend, if there's a place you really want to see, like you're really big, like you love Santorini and you want to see that, or you want to make sure you learn everything about, Chichen Itza in Mexico, I recommend hiring, before you go, like schedule a guide, like a good guide that's just for you, that can take you to that destination and give you the whole, and explain to the look, and then our boat leaves in this time, so we have to be back in plenty of time before that, and give yourself a little extra window of time, because then it's just you and your guide to really help you know that spot of thing you really want to know. Because when you do the excursion with the whole cruise, it's you on a bus of people, and a bus of people have a bus of people of questions. And there's going to be, well, if there's a bus, they're going to start at a market to make sure people buy. So your 5-hour excursion has 2 hours of shopping in it, 2 hours at the actual site, an hour of driving around. So if you have your own driver, it's like, no, it's 1 hour driving, and then it's 4 hours in the site because I'm paying you to show me the site, not take me to some market. So that's what I kind of recommend. Mochi Abs, is it worth going to Stonehenge as a day trip if I'm staying there for a week in London? Yeah, it's worth it. What you could do is do that, then like go over to Bath, spend a night in Bath, and head back the next day. That could be another nice little things there. Let's see. Matthew Wolf, I've not been in Mexico City to give you any advice on that one, but we are planning to go there. I'm hoping to go there in May for VidCon Mexico. So hopefully I'll be able to get some stuff there for that. Ball around the world. I got cheap flights to Prague for 2 weeks in late August. That's cool. I need to figure out trains. I actually use Bahn BAHN.de. That gives me, a really, you can get all the train timetables. You can't buy the tickets unless you're going in Germany, but they'll give you the train timetables for all over Europe, so that can give you some idea of when trains actually do go. Let's see. All right, Lee Chen. I'm with you on this one. Hi, Mark. Flying to Europe with kids via Chicago during busy Christmas season. Any tips for a stress-free airport experience? So, if you look on one of our videos, if you just search like kids carry-on backpack Wolters World, Jocelyn did a video talking just about that, like what to pack in there. So what we do with our kids, because we'll have these long layovers and stuff like that, we will have. I mean, I know they have earbuds and movies on the planes, but what I recommend is you get yourself some over the ear headphones for the kids, because those earbuds are too big for their ears, okay? So they're not going to want that and they're going to complain. So get some nice headphones. I repeat, do not get kids headphones, because kids headphones reduce the volume so much that actually you can't hear it over the plane. So you're just throwing your money away. So get some headphones for them so they have that, they can watch that. Also, I always download some games onto my phone and some movies onto my phone. Also, like if you have an iPad or something like that, I'll download stuff on there in case there is no Wi-Fi or things like that. So you have that. Jocelyn will hit up the dollar store to get a few like cheap toys that, if they lose them, no big deal. So you have that. What I used to do when Liam was smaller, like I'd get him a new toy right before, so he had like new toy to focus on for that. So that can help too. So there is that. Let's see. Next question. Oh, hey, BW Rick. 21. Oh, wow. I just started watching your channel for my honeymoon. We're going to Amsterdam and Paris. What's your top out of the normal thing to do? So if you're going to Amsterdam, not going to the red light district. There's a lot of things people don't do. But I'd say take her out to some of the small towns outside of Amsterdam. They're like 20 minutes away. Go to either Utrecht, which is nice, or actually I like Haarlem. Will be a nice little kind of day trip to get away. I mean, you can rent bikes from the train stations too and go around. That's really nice. From Paris, the crazy thing from Paris with those fast trains, you can get anywhere in the country basically. But Fontainebleau is really nice. I mean, you got Versailles, which is always really packed, but Fontainebleau was Versailles before Versailles, so that could be something for you to do. And congratulations, by the way, and good luck on planning your honeymoon. So there is that. Let's see. Paisano, Wolters World, when are you visiting Colombia? So when our flights for Thanksgiving got messed up, when we had to change a bunch of stuff, and we ended up having to change what our plans were. We were looking at going to Bogota for that, but then there was the curfews and things like that, so we decided to do Aruba instead. So we went there, but Colombia is on the list right now. It's penciled in for. There's a break we have February, not of 2020, February of 2021. That's when we're planning. That's why it's written in a little bit. But my mom has said she would like to go to northern South America. So I think if my mom just wants to go, I might go with my mom sooner than that. So there is that. Brian Edgar, Mark, can you give me your take on Amsterdam? We've got tons of videos on Amsterdam. Just put Wolters World Amsterdam down. It'll get a lot of ideas from there. Hi, Just Me. Good to see you there. But Brian, it's a fun place to be. You don't have to worry about the red light districts. There's so much culture that people don't realize. They just think of the red light district, which is only a small part of the city. So just get out and explore, and you're going to have a good time. Michael, we were supposed to go to Israel for Thanksgiving break 2 weeks ago, and then there's those missile attacks and stuff like that, which was exactly where we were going to be going. And so we got a message that we should reconsider our stuff, so we ended up switching our flights. So we're now going back to Israel in May, June. That's when it's going for us. So we have all of our stuff still booked. They let us, the guys we had and stuff like that, let us push our stuff back to a visit, so that was nice of them. So we have that. Let's see. Some random guy. Any tips for visiting Louisiana? I want to go there with my friend next summer. So obviously New Orleans is fantastic. We got tons of stuff on New Orleans that'll help you out. But if you're going to be in Louisiana, you can go to Baton Rouge for a bit, but do like a swamp tour and things like that. But what you could do is go up and go over to Natchez, Mississippi. Really cute town, well worth checking out. I'd recommend going there. Let's see. Sean McMahon, have you ever been to Catania, Sicily? Yes, I have. If so, did you go to Mount Etna? I did not go up Mount Etna, but it's interesting when you're in Catania by Mount Etna, you can really see how it is really like all volcanic rock and how like dark the rock is and the stone is and stuff like that. So it's really kind of a really cool place to be. Marcus Aurelius Travelist, thank you, Inquisitor. Okay, I'm trying to go through. Dave Duafire, thank you very much for the super chat, buddy. Is it safe to walk around alone in London? If you're during the day, you're going to be fine. If you're by major sites, you'll be fine. But it's like anywhere you go in the world, you always have to pay attention. Like you can't walk around and imagine that there's a magic fanny pack that's going to be, protecting you. Like today when I was walking out at work, some guy started screaming at this girl that was like walking with me, and we're like, "Hey, are you okay?" kind of stuff. So, you got to be safe. You got to pay attention anywhere you go, buddy. So don't think anything's more or less. But it's a very walkable city, like they were saying, so that is something to check out. Let's see. I'm trying to scroll through if I missed anybody. Oh, there's plenty of questions here. Now it's rolling through again. Francisco 1, thank you very much for the super chat. Hello, Mark. I'm an American citizen heading to Cuba this Saturday coming up. What do you recommend things to do in Havana? So that was another place. We were supposed to go as a whole family, and it got more complicated to take your kids there a couple of years ago. So we have not gotten there, so I'm really frustrated. When you're going there, one thing I would say, yes, you can do the tour in the old school of cars, which is always kind of fun and things like that. There's actually ways you can stay with locals. Even you can just stay for a little while with them and eat with them and stuff like that in their homes. That's kind of a really cool experience to check out. But most of the time, it's kind of like you're walking around just enjoying the stuff. I wish I would have got this question earlier because one of my friends at work, his wife is Cuban, and they're going there, I think, next weekend for her sister's birthday. And so he's like, yeah, we're going down again. I'm like, how often do you go? He's like, we go 2 or 3 times a year, and he always has a good time. So I need to ask him more questions. I'm sorry, I suck. My bad. Anyway, hey, Brooklyn DeCosta, greetings from. Oh, it just jumped away. You were somewhere in Bermuda. Hey, hope you're doing well. Will you have a video from Lake Bled soon? Looking for advice for 2020 trip. Love your videos. So I do have some Slovenia videos that are coming. I filmed actually a video on the trains of Europe, actually at Lake Bled, which will be coming out more towards spring when people are getting ready for train travel in Europe. You don't have as much of the train travel stuff now. But that'll be coming. But for Lake Bled, so when you're there, what's cool, if you go there in the summer, there's all kinds of like bobsled stuff and old ski slopes that during the summer are actually like toboggan kind of things. So you can like ride down and stuff like that. So we'll have a lot of interesting, fun things to show you in the videos. You can do it as a day trip from Slovenia or from Ljubljana, no problem. People are really nice there. Tons of English is spoken, no problem with that. You'll eat. It's a nice, interesting kind of combination of like Italian, Austrian mix kind of stuff. So eat well. It's a little pricey, but not really bad. But you'll have some good times. Eat a lot of seafood when you're there. We had a good time with eating all that stuff. Let's see. Okay, so Sam Mallory, do you know the best way to get from one Buenos Aires airport to the other? Driver, cab? Yeah, I would do a driver. You can do the cabs as well, but I'd do a driver. Theoretically, there's a bus that does that, but I would just to take it on your own hands. Actually, in Buenos Aires, Uber is actually really good. We actually used that most of the time when we were there because the taxi drivers don't have to take you if they don't want to. So, but if you're going that far, you should be okay. So Gilson Diaz, I think from Brazil. Mark, when can I buy ferries to Greek islands? I will be there in July. Thanks. You probably can start looking now. Like there's a ton of Greek ferry, and it'll show you how far ahead you can buy. Because you're going to go in July, they're going to be busy. So I might look at getting a little more space, like getting like a cabin if you can. It costs more, but it's easier to do it that way. So it might be easier to actually take one of the flights to get there. So one of the things to think about. Lowell Mayfield, I'm from Mount Sterling, Illinois. I've been there a number of times. I've been watching Wolters World for years. Was very surprised to discover they were from Quincy. Yes, I'm from Quincy. That's right. It's a small world. I remember years ago when we had like 20,000 subscribers. I was eating Mexican food with my parents, and this guy came up and was like, dude, I watch your videos online. They're really cool. I'm like, thanks, man. So it was like, well, the first time someone came up to us and said hi, it was kind of funny. He's like, what are you doing here? I'm like, I'm actually from here. He's like, that's cool. So it was kind of funny. Let's see. I'm just trying to scroll. Oh, it just jumped on me again. Hi, Steven. Hope you're doing well. Paige, good to see you on there, buddy. Paige, if you want to get the merchandise, like the shirts, if you look down right there, see where it says woltersworld.store. Just go to woltersworld.store and you can grab stuff there. Should be a link below as well. You can go there and they'll have all kinds of things, whether you want to get the Andiamo shirt or if you want to get some of the other things, it's right on there. It's $5 shipping for like everything. It's just $5 shipping in the U.S. For those that are outside the U.S., I'm sorry that the shipping's so high. We do not make any money on the shipping, okay? That is just what it costs to ship it abroad, and I feel really, really bad because I know a lot of people have gotten upset, like, why is it so expensive to ship abroad? I'm like, because that's what they're charging us. So we're not doing any markups for the shipping and stuff like that. So that's why, like, at least we can give a deal on the shipping in the U.S., but we can't do much for international. So it is a little bit pricier for international shipping. I'm not going to lie to you for that, and I feel bad, but we're trying to do the best we can. So we used to have $5 like flat rate shipping for as much as you get. So get a lot of stuff. Get a free shirts, or sweatshirts or jackets or coats or we have the water bottles and stuff like that we've actually been using. I was actually upset because Jocelyn had taken one, it was in her car, then she didn't realize it and took another one. So I'm like, where are the water bottles? Luckily, I found this one. This thing keeps it freaking cold for like a day and a half, 2 days. I'm very happy with it. Let's see. Oh, just jumped up on me again. Let's see. Oh, Buddha J, did you find any good airline deals on Black Friday? So here's one of the things. Every year I kind of look, and occasionally I'll find deals, but this year I did not find really much that really... there were some deals I saw, but it was like deals that I like when I would have to fly isn't really when I wanted to fly. Like that's not that great of a deal. So I didn't see as many. So I wasn't like, when you don't get inspired to search because the deals aren't that good, you're like, I'm not even going to try. I kind of got uninspired by seeing the deals that were out there. Yeah, Euronation, Canadian shipping. Yeah, getting the quarter zips up to Canada is like $18. I mean, I feel bad about it, but that's what the post office is charging us. So I'm sorry. So, but hey, you get cool stuff, and we really appreciate it if you do, but we do understand. I know, like, Australia is like crazy. I think when we go to Australia, I might take a suitcase full of merch with me and be like, if Australians, if you want to order, I'm going to be coming here, then I'll ship it from there to save you all some money. So, hoping to do something like that. Let's see. Greg Federwich. Hi, Mark. Watched all your France videos. Very cool. What's the best for winter in Paris? I would say make sure you have waterproof shoes because it doesn't really necessarily snow very much, but it does get wet and rainy. So make sure you don't want to be wet because then you get cold and wet. It's like I can take cold, but I can't take cold and wet. So that's one of the things with your shoes. I'd say watch out for that. Camden Palmisano. Hi, Mark. My partner and I are doing a 43-day Europe trip in May. That's awesome. Would you recommend buying first or second class train pass in Europe? Thanks. It really depends where you're going to go. If you're going to see a lot of different countries, you might look at doing like just flying with EasyJet and save yourself the money because if you're over 25, 26, those Euro and Rail passes sometimes aren't a good value. So I would like compare and contrast the prices for that. Okay. Raymond Kizzer, can you teach us how to use points miles on credit cards? I've had a lot of questions about that lately, and I might start trying to put some stuff together for you for those things. I've never really gotten into the talking about the points and things like that because you have guys like the points guy who I think is a little disingenuous of how he kind of talks about things where, I mean, he's got good information. I'm not going to lie to you that he's got some good stuff to help out, but how they're like, I've done all this for free. I've done all this for free. I'm like, dude, you have to spend money to get the points in the first place. So yes, it's free to fly after you paid the three, it's like when you get one of those cards that tells you they're going to give you 50,000 free miles, but the hook is you got to spend like $2,000 in the first 2 months. Well, maybe I don't want to spend $2,000 in 2 months to get it. It's like this one of those like little things I don't mention. So you got to have a thought about that. Isa, Mesopotamia. Thank you very much for that very nice compliment. Okay, Gary Horn. Hi, Mark. Any advice for Paris over New Year's? I've been there for New Year's a couple times. Just watch out for the fireworks because a lot of kids will be going around fireworks just throwing it back and stuff like that. I remember, oh my God, I was there one year and I was on the Champs Elysees, and kids were just lighting fireworks and throwing them. One landed in a baby carriage. Thank God the baby was not in the carriage. So just have a heads up on that. Um, Fin, yes, I have been to Liechtenstein. There's not much there. Actually, if you're coming in from Switzerland, or sorry, if you're coming in from Innsbruck, Austria, if you go to a town called Feldkirch, Austria, that's actually a lot nicer, but it's still worth checking out. Just to be there. I mean, it's nice views and stuff like that. Down with bureaucracy. Where in Europe have you actually not been? So I need to get more of the former Yugoslavia, like Serbia, Macedonia, Bosnia. I need to get there. I have not been to Andorra. We were going to go there, but then we switched, decided we should try more wine in Bordeaux. So we voted for wine over Andorra. So hopefully we'll get there. I've not been to Ukraine, Bulgaria, Moldova. Yeah, that's about it. So still got some stuff to check out. So we'll get there for that. Joshua McCloskey, is visiting Scandinavia via cruise a good idea, or does it shortchange the experience? Anytime you do a cruise, it does shortchange the experience because you're kind of forced through doing everything, so you don't get a chance to relax and enjoy the place. But for Scandinavia, the reason what's a bonus for doing that is because you have the distances between the places and the views when you are flying by, or sorry, when you're the coastline going by, like in Norway and Sweden, going to Åland Islands and stuff like that between Finland and Sweden. It's just really gorgeous, and that way it's a really nice thing. I know my parents have done it; and they really enjoyed it. So there is that. Francisco, hey, you're back. Hello again. Hello again. What's the best universal travel plug adapter that works in every country? So I don't know which one's the best one. We use a few different ones. Like there's a Duafire one we have on our site and stuff like that, or in our videos. If you're looking there, there's stuff that talks about it. But what I always look for is one that's they'll be like, it'll have the US plug, it'll have the European plug, and then it'll have the UK plug. That's what you usually always have. But what I always recommend is get one that has like at least two USB ports on it, because then you can plug two USB things on there and then have like your computer plugged in, so you can do that. Okay. Fin, yes, I've been to Belarus. Actually, I used to work in Lithuania. I worked in Lithuania for 3.5 years. So spent a lot of time in Eastern Europe. Good times. Good times. Good times. I loved it there. So Euronation, any plans to go to North Korea? You probably get a lot of views. Probably not a good idea to bring the kids. And that's the thing. There are places you can go to like drum up lots of videos, like doing a North Korea kind of thing. And I've got 2 kids, and I'm not willing to take a chance with that because I want to show them those places. And if I don't feel comfortable taking my kids there, then I have to be worried that I would take myself there. So there's things like that. Okay, so that's why you don't see us doing Iran or Iraq or Syria and things like that. So I would love to go there. I'd love to go to Syria one day if it calms down, and Iran and Iraq one day to see the history of those places. But right now, I don't know if I want to go there right now. Matthew McLucky, have you been to Romania? Bucharest is great, and Brasov and Bran is cool, especially the Dracula Castle at Bran. Yes, I've been to all those places, and Brasov in Romania is awesome. And I'll tell you, if you're going to go to Romania, the Transylvania part of Romania, that was like the northwest part kind of Romania, is like, for me, that's like, I'm like, this place is cool. I remember the first time I went there, I'm like, man, this is like 20 years ago, and I was remember going, man, they get some EU funds to like redevelop this is going to be awesome. And so I'm looking forward to go back and take the kids there. I don't think we'll get there this summer, but it's kind of like, because what we do with our travels is like, I have like a rough idea where we're going to be for certain things like I really want to do. Yes, I am drinking whiskey, by the way, Titan. But like, we'll have a rough idea of what we want to do. Like next year, like I already know we're doing New Orleans, we're going to Alabama, we're going to El Salvador, we're going to the Caribbean one more time, the Cayman Islands. Then we've done enough Caribbean, and we're gonna kind of like finish off with that. And then then it's like in the summer I'm teaching in Austria, so I know we're gonna have some stuff there. And we have a wedding we're gonna go to, and so sometimes we have like family things, like, okay, we tie stuff together with that, and I know like some other place I'd like to go next year, but it's not like set. Like I don't have, until the tickets are bought, everything's a possibility. But it's just time. It's a question of time of when we can go. So like Carson, would you go to Dubai? Yeah, I go to Dubai. We've thought about going in January, but this January now I'm booked up with a lot of USA trips to do that, because I feel that there's a lot of we do a lot of international things, and I think there's a lot of places in the U.S. and Canada and Mexico we could go to show people that it's close by, that you don't have to fly for 8 hours to see fantastic places. So we're trying to figure out ways to help build some like more local tourism kind of stuff. So working on that. Oh my God, Joshua Matthews. Oh, here it's 2:43 a.m. where you're at, my friend. Thank you for being up this early or this late. I'm sorry that you're up that early. Yes, I've been to Northern Ireland. That's one of the things I would like to take with the kids next year because I really like Northern Ireland as a really great place for a family road trip. Because you go there, you drive around the island, you're together. It's short distance to places, so no one's like, "Are we there yet?" kind of stuff. And there's so many cool things to see there, and I mean that's why I recommend Ireland a lot for like first time travelers from the U.S. going to Europe because the language barrier is not a thing. You get to like the people are super nice. You have fun. The food's good. It's really nice there. So Eric Brown, I'll be there. I think late January, early February, somewhere around then. Francisco one, hey again, how many countries have you been to in total? Love your channel. So we haven't been to a ton. Like we're not like Kate and Nate and Kara and Nate or whatever. They're doing their 100 countries in like 3 or 4 years, something like that. I've been to about 60 countries, 60, 70 countries. 70? I don't know. I have it listed down here. I think it's about 70. Somewhere between 60 and 70 for me. Caleb is at 49. I know that. Liam is at like, Liam, how many countries? How many? Liam's at 44, and Jocelyn's somewhere in her 50s. So we're kind of going that. Like I never got into the like get every country and check it off the list because right now I just really enjoy going. Like we're going to go back to Italy this year because I want to go see my friends. We're going to Barcelona because I want to go see my friends. And I lived abroad for 12 years, and so like my friends live around the world. So I want to go see Alvi in Lithuania. I want to go see Nando in Italy. I want to go see Magnus in Barcelona. I want to go see Dave in London. I want to go see Luciano in Sao Paulo. Like, and so those things really drive us more now to have more of the like experience versus we've been to that country, check kind of stuff. So it's kind of interesting. So we're trying to get some more stuff, and also by going back, we really learn more about the culture, which means we can share more with our fellow travelers. Smilus in Lisbon, Portugal. Lovely, love it. Muito bom, muito bom. That's where Liam was born. Our youngest was actually born in Lisbon. Anyway, Jason in Tennessee. Yes, I do need to get back to Nashville. And we need to go out to Franklin. We actually thought about going there last time we were driving through. So I have to check it out. Let's see. Oh, you guys are jumping. The thing's jumping on me. I don't know if it's jumping on you because I can't see it very well. Okay. So Casey Busser, my boyfriend and I are planning a trip to Arizona in the Southwest this coming January. Do you think it would be too cold to enjoy it, especially with the scenery? So if you're going to like Flagstaff, you're going to have snow. Okay, I'm just going to tell you that one right now. So be ready for that. Have multiple layers. Remember, it's desert, so if you're going in the south, I mean, it gets cold at night in the desert, so definitely have layers even if you're staying in the warmer parts. So just have a heads up for that, okay? Let's see. Okay, so some people are asking about recommendations for restaurants and stuff like that. I don't have the names of places. I just kind of recommend the foods you should have in different places, so that makes it a little bit tough. I always say, look where you see the locals go, and when you go, don't ask the concierge. You ask the front desk people, because the concierge is like trying to push you to certain restaurants. The front desk person's like, "This is where I go eat," and then go where they go eat. Matthew McLucky, what's your favorite international dish? That would be bigoli con arna. It's an egg noodle with a duck ragu sauce from around Vicenza in Venice in Italy, in Veneto region. I love it. It's so wonderful. I could eat it all the time. It's amazing. Actually, I got it for Jocelyn found the noodles and got them for my birthday a couple years ago because that's how much I love them. So I'm like, what do you want for your birthday? Bigoli noodles. Thank you. So Harley Ruiz, hey, have you ever been to Baja? I have not, but we have looked at going down there. My dad actually worked down there a lot when I was a kid, but he never took us down there when we were that little. So I only got to go through like Central Mexico when I was down there, but hopefully I'll get down there to see you. So Random Tree. So I was actually, they're asking, when are you guys going to get to Portland or San Francisco? I was actually looking at flights to San Francisco for later this year with the family in Portland. So we're looking for that. I don't know when we're going to go, but it's on the list of kind of place to check out. So there is that. So Callie Wood, this is another question people ask. Are you guys going to start up your own tour company? There's a lot of YouTubers right now who are doing, and bloggers that are doing, tours, which is cool because it helps them make money and sustain themselves. And I respect that all heartedly. But I'm sure one day we might do something. I actually take students on tours, I guess. I usually do one trip, maybe 2 trips a year, depends on the year, with students. So I guess I do tours for my students. So I never really thought of it that way. But like in the terms of the tour stuff, because what I like to do is, I was actually talking about this today in one of my classes. It's like I like our videos to be able to help you, the traveler, be able to have the best travel experience possible, not just a vacation, but a cultural experience. And so I don't know if I could do really what I'd want people to be able to do on a tour. I would want them to see the culture and the people and stuff like that. So if we would do tours, it would be like a very small tour, like like 10 people, right? It'd be like, look, our family's going, and then we'll bring two other families with us, or like we'll take a couple couples and a few other couples, and we'll go and do something like that. So it can be a really like immersive experience, because that's what I want people to see, is just find these cultures, because that's why I love all these places we go. It's not the sights we see, it's the people we meet and the culture we understand. So it's really kind of a nice thing. So let's see. Da-da-da. Any recommendations for a 21st birthday in the summer? I would go beach. Go with party beach kind of stuff. Or it depends. Like New Orleans is fun any time of the year, but that would be a fun for a 21st. Or you're going to someplace like, well, 21st, I mean, it depends. Like if you're from the US, it's a really big birthday. It's going to be a lot of other places, just another birthday. So maybe you can rent cars. But yeah, I always like New Orleans for that kind of stuff here in the US. If you're going farther afield, Italy can be fun for birthday stuff. Michael Mon, my buddy. Thanks for the super chat, my friend. First foray into. Wait, Michael, you've not been to Spain yet? I find that crazy. For an architecture kind of guy, you'll love it, man. First foray into Spain, Barcelona is a must, but I'm struggling to decide between north, middle, or south from there. So much to see. So, for convenience for you, if you just want to do the train over, I would recommend doing middle. Take the train over, stop in Zaragoza on your way to Madrid, and from Madrid, you can do day trips. Go to Segovia. You'll love that for the architecture and the aqueduct and stuff like that. You can go to Toledo as well, or you can go, there's other options you can go around there, but those are the ones I'd recommend the most, Mike. So, hopefully I can help you out. Thanks, buddy. Oh, you have to. So Callie Woods back. Hey, you helped us greatly with your Central Europe trip this past summer, Prague, Budapest, and Vienna. Callie, I'm glad we could help out. That's really nice. Gary, I will get down to New Zealand, my friend. Don't you worry. Yes, Richie, this is live. I'm seeing you. Welcome to Aruba. We just got back. We were in Aruba last week. We were in Aruba last week. We drove over. We were at the California Lighthouse. Oh my God, Liam was so scared going up there. He was crying his eyes out. I'm like, dude, you can make it up there. You're not going to fall down. If you fall, it's a circle. So you just hit off a wall and you'll stop going down. We went all the way down to Baby Beach. We were over to the Natural Bridge. We saw the fortress, all kinds of stuff. So nice time. Nice people there. Lots of people from Boston, New York there too. Let's see. Jordan Sureski, just back from Finland and Estonia, but ran out of time. Really want to go to Rovaniemi and Turku next time. Yeah, that is one of those things. Like Finland, Estonia, it's an easy thing to do with the ferry going between the two. And it really is like a nature kind of thing. Like if you're a nature person going to like the Baltics and going up to Finland, it really is a spectacular thing. I understand. Like you don't think like, oh, there's not a lot of places I know about there, but you're there and you're like, this is really nice. Like I was an exchange student in Finland and I've worked in Estonia, so it's really a nice kind of thing. So I can understand how you ran out of time. Okay, Mark Finley, hey buddy, good to see you on there. So Mark Finley writes, the Finleys would love to see the world with the Wolters. Yeah, I know, buddy. Well, one day, have you ever been to Paestum? Yes, we have been. The train. Well, it's been a few years since I was there. The train when we were there, like the train station didn't have tickets, so you had to make sure you had tickets to come back. I had to like use my broken Italian at the time to like keep us from getting in trouble because we didn't know because no one told us. But it is cool when you're going there. If you know what Paestum is, Paestum's got a bunch of Greek temples that are there in Italy. I'm pretty sure they're Greek temples. And what was crazy about it was actually there was malaria there, and it's kind of in a swamp, so they just left them. So they've like gotten rid of the swamps and the malaria now, and so now you have these things that were never like they didn't take the marble to build other things and stuff like that. So it's really kind of a cool thing. So if you're going down, kind of the Sorrento Amalfi Coast way, it can be a good day trip for you when you're going down there. Let's see. All around the world. Glad we could help you with your trip to Spain and Lisbon. That was very cool to hear. So Gregory Janakopoulos. Yeah, Josh will hit me right now because I didn't say it right. Sorry, buddy. What's your favorite town in Europe? That's tough. Because cities-wise, if I go big cities, I love Paris, Rome, and Prague. But if I go like medium-sized places, I love Bamberg, Germany. I love Salzburg. I love Lisbon. Well, Lisbon's a little bit bigger than that. Like I love Lisbon, Bath, and York in England. Where else? There's some really like Tallinn is really cool. Where else? Oh, of course, my Vicenza people. But that's family, that's friends that are there. So there's that. So there is that. Let's see. Adam Ferguson. I have been to Lyon. I have been there many years ago with my brother, but it's been a long time since I've been there. I need to get back there. Let's see. Ooh, got some more there. Carl Jocelyn, I have not been to San Francisco. Hopefully, we'll get there one day soon. Lori Sims would live in Vienna if possible. It is really good. It is a very livable city because you got culture, you got food, you got music, you got easy connections all over the world. So it is really nice. Michael Intelgator, did you answer my question about Belgium, Netherlands, and Luxembourg? Send your question again, Michael, so I can see what it is. Okika, Salzburg is well worth going to. Definitely check it out. Georgiana Sims just returned from Nicaragua. The people and landscapes were spectacular. Thanks, buddy, for all your help. Jocelyn still wants us to retire on a Isleta in Nicaragua. We really enjoyed our time in Nicaragua. I found actually one of my old Nicaragua videos because there was an audio problem on it. Sorry. There was an audio problem on it, but I got it fixed, so I can actually put out, I think it's the Shocks of Nicaragua, I think I have. So I can get a couple more Nicaragua things out there, because a lot of people should go there. Granada, Nicaragua is fantastic. Highly recommend it. Bonnie, yes, we have been to Japan. We got some videos from there. It's funny, because I'm going through all these old stuff, and I'm finding more and more old videos. I'm like, I need to put together some like highlight reels from some of these things as well. So hopefully we'll get some of those things. Let's see. Michael, you haven't told me your question again. Oh, there it is. What is best? 2-week itinerary in Belgium, Netherlands, and Luxembourg. Okay. So, Michael, in Belgium, Bruges and Ghent are must. You can do Brussels, you can just pass through, kind of. Antwerp's nice. You can do that. But I would just focus like Bruges, Ghent, and then do World War I battlefields. And then the Netherlands, you have like Amsterdam, but you don't have to stay in Amsterdam. Stay in like Utrecht or Haarlem, and so you have a few days there and visit Haarlem and Utrecht. Are easy to do from each other to do those things. Hey, Callywood, thank you very much for the super chat. Then you can get up to like Grinning, which is really nice. And then Luxembourg, I mean, a couple of nights in Luxembourg. I'm not a huge fan. I only made one video when I was there on travel videos, so if that tells you anything about Luxembourg, there are other things. You can have it, buddy. It's okay.
Do you want it?
No, I'm okay. You can have it, buddy.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, though. Lee was just bringing me.
I love these.
Lee, I was at Aldi and got the gingerbread cookies, and so he really loves those. So we're having a little Christmas stuff here while Mom's away. Don't tell her; she'll get mad at me. Let's see. Okay, so Jason in Tennessee, do you recommend low-cost flights from the U.S. to Europe in low season? Nashville to Berlin return can be found for $600 in March? Hell yeah! That seems too cheap. No, that's not too cheap. Low season, if you're going March, February, September, October, you can get flights to Europe from $450, $500, $600, no problem. That is okay. What I would recommend you do, Jason, whatever airline they say it's on, go to that website of that airline and see if you can get that deal. Because if you buy it from the airline itself, if there are any issues, the airline can help you. If you buy from a third-party supplier like Kayak or something like that, then if there are issues, it's a little bit tougher to get support for it. So, but if for a deal like that, you're like, you know what, I'll be okay. So then that's actually a really good deal. So cool, man. Yeah, but I wouldn't be too worried about it. Tim Hell, hello there. Have you tried carry-on only traveling? Yes, we do it all the time. So it's something you can definitely do. We have the rule of 5, so we'll take 5 tops and 5 bottoms and 5 undies and 5 socks, and that's what we wear. And because we do laundry when we travel, so we do that. Because it's all about andiamo. Let's go. Let's see. Okay, James M. Thank you very much for the super chat. Hey, Mark, what is your favorite thing to do or attraction to visit while in Amsterdam? Netherlands, yeah. My girlfriend and I are traveling April 2020. Okay, so if you two are going together, one thing you got to realize is if you're going in Amsterdam, a lot of people just think of the red light district, and you can do that. It's interesting to go through and stuff like that. But what's cool is actually the museums in Amsterdam all around are really great. The architecture is really great. Eat like Indonesian food and then like Asian, like East Asian food, no, Southeast Asian food. There's all kinds of great like restaurants for that there. But what I recommend you do is go out to some of the small towns like Harlem and Utrecht out or Leiden, right outside, at like 20-minute train ride, like a few bucks to go out there. You get to see another beautiful town, and the tourists disappear when you go there. Like Harlem gets tourists, but like Utrecht, hardly any, Leiden, hardly any. So you can have a nice time with that. So I'd recommend that, especially the two of you are going together. You'll be tired of all the tourists all around. It'll be nice, like kind of like getawayness. So let's see. So a Wild Mew, hello Walter. I'm going to Houston in 2 weeks with the holiday travel craziness in mind. I'll be thinking of you. How early should I get to the airport? Also, do you have any don'ts for Houston? I do not have anything for Houston, buddy. Sorry. But in terms of the craziness for travel, if you have like TSA pre-check and stuff like that, it's actually not too bad. But if you don't, I would give yourself a little bit extra time. If you're just flying domestically, they always say the 2 hours. Usually should be okay with that. But what I would recommend is if you're just doing carry-on only, it might be easier because then there's less chance your bag getting lost because you have it with you. So pack light. But if you do have stuff you got to check, that might take more time. Get the app for your phone for your airline so you can have everything tracked on there and just have it and beep yourself in. And you can maybe skip some of the lines. So there's that. Brian Clark, not 6 socks. I'll let you have 6 socks, man. I'll let you have 6 socks. It's okay. Actually, I'll throw a 6th pair of underwear. Like I'll throw an extra pair of underwear in my carry-on just in case our bags, if we don't do carry-on, like does get lost, like my backpack. So there, it's kind of funny. Like the kids have like a extra set of underwear and socks in their backpacks too, just in case something happens. Like just how we are. Let's see. All right. Babette McCann. I'm a solo female traveler heading to Ireland for 10 days in July with Dublin as my base. Will not have a car. Plan to see Kilkenny, Waterford, Galway. How many days should I plan for Galway? I would do 2 days in Galway because you're going to have the day you get there. Then you can listen to music, do stuff like that. Then go see the stuff by there. You can do because the thing about Ireland, there's so many tourists that don't want to drive when they're there. There's plenty of tours. So you can take a tour down to the Baron and see the Cliffs of Moher and things like that. So you'll be okay. You'll have a fun time with that. Trevor, Uruland. Hey, Mark, will you visit Kuala Lumpur anytime? We will eventually. I do not have it on the penciled in for next year, though, but hopefully we can get down there. So it's definitely on the list it's on our list of places we really want to go. So we have that. So don't worry. Let's see. Fin, have you been into the stands? No, I have not. We do need to get to those. We were talking about going there, like doing Georgia and Kazakhstan, and actually, where was it? Uzbekistan. There was some stuff that we got invited to go there, but in Kazakhstan, but I just couldn't make it with the schedule. So that was kind of sad. Would you take $10 million or unlimited lifetime travel for you and your family? Well, with $10 million, it would pretty much be a lifetime of travel anyway. So I think I'd go that way. Let's see. Philip Nave. Hello, Mark. Hello. Going back to Paris for 10 days in June. Is taking the train to Bayeux and rent a car to see Normandy and the Loire Valley the best option? How would you divide the time between the areas? So I actually have a video on that. Just put in Paris or put in France itinerary, Wolters World, in YouTube, and we kind of go through that exact thing, that exact question. Also, our Normandy videos actually talk about that. You can get to Bayeux or you can go to like Rouen. There might be more trains going there for that, but yeah, you can definitely do that. No problem at all. Judy Reyes has a tough question: Dublin or Edinburgh? I would go Edinburgh. Honestly, Edinburgh, I like Edinburgh better than Dublin, but I love Scotland and Ireland equally in terms of really great places to go. For me, like it's kind of like you can go to Scotland and see Edinburgh and really get a lot out of it and not feel as bad that you miss more of the beautiful country. Whereas when you go to Ireland, if you just go to Dublin, you really missed out on a lot of stuff. So like I always recommend people like fly to Ireland and then get your car at the airport, then drive out of Dublin and then go see the country and then come back at the end, drop off your car, then head into Dublin for a day or two and do that. So there's one of those things there. Let's see. Brian Clark, single dad from Southern California. Any recommendations for inexpensive, cheap trip with my 5-year-old daughter? Thanks. Okay, so one of the things I've done with our kids is we'll actually talk to them like, what are some places you've heard of you might like going? Sometimes you might look at what is she like? Like Liam, he used to love dinosaurs, so we would look for, like, we went to the ROM in Toronto because they have a huge dinosaur collection, so we had to have that. And we were in Connecticut, and we went there's this state park where there's like, where these dinosaurs were going by in the water, so there's all these like dinosaur claw prints and footprints they have there. And so I kind of found stuff for that, and because it really got the kids more inspired for where we're going to go. Because you might not realize, but even a 2 or 3 year old will get excited about the place you're going to go if they know about it. So, if you've seen she's watched a bunch of videos on Paris, maybe you can find a cheap flight to Paris, because you can find those sometimes like off season. Because at 5, you can take them out of school and it's not really a big deal. Okay, she might be in kindergarten or not in kindergarten, so it might be something to look into. But I know as a single dad, sometimes it's tough to take them abroad because of passports, and if mom doesn't want them to go to the country and stuff like that. So within the U.S., for you in Southern California, I might look at something like going to Tucson in Arizona, because you have the Desert Museum there, which is really nice. You got the University of Arizona campus. You can go down to where they did the OK Corral. It's Tombstone. You can go down there and see that. So that could be kind of fun. I mean, I know she's into that, but that could be something to think about, buddy. So good luck. Raymond Kaiser, why are visas needed for certain countries? Well, certain countries want to control who can come in their country and when they can come in. And so that's just one of the ways they kind of do more background checks to make sure people can come. So you have that. Let's see. Heather J, can you do a more detailed video on travel clothes and gear? So Heather, what you mean, like what we use, or like what people should think about using? Just give me a little more information so I can have an idea. Nair Iskikian, what's your favorite Greek island? I would say it's probably Crete, but that's because we have our oldest son, his godmother's from there. So we go and visit there. So it's kind of like a family thing. So they have that there. It's really nice. Let's see. So, Fin, have I been to New Mexico? We were just in Santa Fe earlier this year. It was really good eating, man. You guys got the peppers doing just right down there. The green chili peppers and the red chili peppers. They call it Christmas because you get both the green chili sauce and the red chili sauce. That's nice. Let's see. Okay, LinkedIn. What are some tips you would have for a new solo traveler? 1, don't get over freaked out. You can travel by yourself. It's fine. People have been traveling by themselves for thousands of years, so you'll be okay. But having said that, preparation is key. Do your research so you know what you want to see, and don't overdo it. Because what happens if you overdo it, then you get burned out, then you end up sitting around doing nothing for a few days. So kind of plan your time out, and also plan time that realize that if you even if it's by yourself for 10 days, you can only see so many museums and churches and stuff like that before you get burned out. So make sure you plan I'm going to have a kind of a do nothing day. Maybe not a totally do nothing day, but today's the day that I'm just going to go experiment at restaurants. I'm going to sit at a cafe and just watch the world go by and write some postcards back home. Like things like that can really help out. So Laura Steinfurth, have you been to Petra, Jordan? I'm going at the end of the month. We were supposed to go last month, but we didn't. We had to change our trip. So we'll be going back there hopefully in June next year. Let's see. Oh, Heather J. Some travel clothes are pretty expensive. What do you guys bring, use, and wear? So I wear a lot of Wolters World gear, to be honest. I wear that most of the time. Because here's the thing. You don't necessarily need travel clothes. Like if you're going to go to a safari, you have safari clothes when you're on safari. If you're in Tanzania and you're not in the Serengeti National Park, you wear normal clothes. And so we kind of wear the stuff that we usually would wear. But we make sure it's stuff that works, like stuff that layers, so we can do that. So I'll have a thin t-shirt like this, and I'll have a quarters if I can throw over the top of that, and a packable jacket and stuff like that. So we do those things. That's why, like, on our website, we have some stuff that we use and things like that. But I don't know if you want a Wolters World logo on your jackets. I can understand if you don't. It's okay. But it's just one of those things you kind of think about. In terms of the gear, we always use Osprey backpacks. A lot of people don't like them sometimes because they say, well, just give me any extra room. No, they do that because then it always is guaranteed to fit in the overhead compartment. Because that's why you see those people that roll their bag on that's been expanded out. And you're like, dude, that is not going to fit. Like, it's going to fit. I'm like, it's not going to fit. I mean, I played enough Tetris to know that is not going to fit. So there is that. Oh, Kika, I'm packing right now. It's so different packing 1 to 50-pound bag rather than 2 70-pound bags. Oh my gosh, so you got like muscles like boom to carry that much weight? Oh my goodness. So Kika actually brings up an issue that I think is important. I would rather people would have like 2 carry-on size bags versus 1 huge heavy bag. Because 1 huge heavy bag, you can't really move that around. 2 medium-sized ones, you can deal with that. When you're going around, you're a bit more nimble and quick, and so you're not as in like a bad a position if if you have to, worry about stuff. And it's easier to get things on. Also, some trains, they only have limited space. You can't put the big suitcase on there, but maybe you can put a couple, carry-on bags on there. So just something to think about. Motive Gaming, also in Rome. Almost mugged, but watching your videos prepared me for that. Well, I hope it helped. I'm glad we could help out. And that's one of the things is, we talk a lot about safety stuff and scams and things like that in our videos. And I'm not trying to make it sound like every place is bad, because every place is wonderful in my opinion. But it's just the thing. If you know what to look out for, you're less likely to be a victim. The thing is, we've had stuff stolen from us. Like these things do happen, but if you kind of know what to look out for, you know that you have a better chance of not being a victim. And so that's one thing I'm really glad. That means a lot. I'm glad we could help out and keep you being a little bit safer. Okay, Brian Casey, is the Frankfurt Christmas market worth it? Should we check out other ones around the area going in 2 weeks? If you go to the one that's in the rebuilt old town there's that part there. You can see that. That's like a little bit. I would go out to some of the wine villages on the Rhine and go there to see their ones, because it's going to be much better, more like kind of authentic feeling. If you just get down to Heidelberg and stuff like that, there's plenty of things to see. I'm not a huge fan of Frankfurt myself, though I've taken students there a few times. But so just have a heads up for that. So John Anderson, hey Mark, is it worthwhile to get a yearly traveler's medical policy? Thanks. John, it depends how many meds you take and how often you're traveling. To be honest, also how old you are. If you're over 60, if you're on Medicaid in the U.S. or Medicare in the U.S., you will not be covered abroad, so you need to have something. We buy our coverage per trip and just do that. So that's one thing we kind of do. Bonnie Schnee, yes, India is on our list. We will hopefully be there in the next couple years. Let's see. Sophia Motion Caniglio. Sorry, I totally butchered your name, man. Don't hate me for that, Sophia. Also, I'd love to hear more about your videos on Baltic travel in Nordic countries. What are some of the tips of budgeting when traveling in Nordic countries? So the Baltics and the Nordics are different. Like Baltics, like Lithuania, Latvia, those are really affordable places. You'll be fine. Estonia, prices definitely go up. In Finland and Sweden and Norway, oh my God, Norway. Just don't drink anything in Norway. It gets really expensive. Use the supermarkets like everyone talks about. I remember when I was in Norway a couple of years ago with my parents. Like we're like, oh my goodness! Like we actually ate at a fast food place because we couldn't afford like another $200 meal for like very little. We're like, let's just do this, and we went to Max or not Max. Max is in Sweden. Some other like a local place, and that's one of those things. Like we were in Aruba, and I know people want to eat local all the time, and I always recommend eating local. But there comes a point when like you can't do a $200 meal. Like we were in Aruba, and to go out to eat for the four of us, I'm like, with tip, it was like $200. I'm like. I'm like, babe, we can't do this. This is too expensive. And so, one night we were just at the hotel and like we just ordered pizza. We ordered pizza from a local place, brought it in. It was only $50. I'm like, hey, that's a lot more than pizza at home. But you know what? It saved us some cash. So sometimes you're doing things like that, which might not be like the most authentic experience. But if you're going to be someplace for a couple weeks, you're going to have a chance to try a lot of foods and also realize. The locals eat fast food and kiosk food, and they have that like in Germany. Like I used to, my meals sometimes would just be a €2 bratwurst. Instead of going for a €12 meal, I just have a €2 bratwurst and do that. So you can look for things like that in Scandinavia. Oh my God, they have really good hot dogs, by the way. So you'll be okay. Let's see. Oh, Sophia, the most expensive one, that is Norway. Norway's the most expensive one. It's okay. It's totally okay you're asking all these questions because you're going there right now. Now, you're going with a tour group, so they'll probably be hooked up on the food, I was like, food, but I read your fjord thing, like feud. So they'll hook you up on a lot of stuff because the tourists will do a better job of finding the deals for you and things like that, or the food will probably be included, but I don't know what cruise or tour you're on. Hey, Vince, I'm glad I can help. Even if you can't travel, I'm glad I can show you some stuff from around the world. Here's a nice one. I always like this. So, Stigmalock, should I study abroad in college? I want to, but my school doesn't offer it, so I'm not sure how. Okay, so I always recommend studying abroad because if you think about it, when else are you going to have a chance to go for 3 to 4 months or 5 months to go live in another country when you're an adult? You don't, because you have a job and you have to stay at work and you don't have a chance to do it. So I'm saying, take the opportunity if it's there. Now, if you do not have, your university does not have a program, there are companies like EF, Educational Foundation, just EF, they actually have stuff that can help out. There's actually some independent organizations that do study abroad stuff. Like one of my old students, I was in Cuenca, Ecuador, and she came up and said hi to me. And she was talking. It's like, yeah, I'm actually here, doing study abroad stuff for independent stuff. So there's some independent agencies that will actually help you with that. So it could be something to look out for. Okay. Ritika Jane, any tips for packing for cold weather? It's all about layers. It is all about layers because you might think you're fine with just a sweater, but you know what? That wind goes through the sweater. So like I said, I always have like our t-shirts. Again, you can get our Andiamo shirt. Jocelyn designed it. So I have like a t-shirt, then my quarter zip, and then I'll throw my coat on, and I'll have those things. So if I get hot, I can take the jacket off. It'll be fine. Or it's I can take the quarter zip on, just have the jacket with the t-shirt. It's about the layers for that. And also, good shoes. Have waterproof shoes, okay? Because once your feet get wet, you will never be warm. Okay, so you want to be careful with that. Geo Dude, your vids on Bruges and Paris were spot on. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. That was very nice of you. Let's see. Michael Mann. All right, buddy. Good night, buddy. I probably have to sign off too. Ooh, it's 9:15. We've been on for like an hour and a bit. That's why I love doing these things. I don't even realize the time. It's just so much fun being with you all and talking travel and stuff like that. So I probably should sign off here real quick. Well, let's see. Is there anything else? Vince Cormier, what's better, Nashville or San Francisco? They're both cool cities, but for me, Nashville is a 6-hour drive and San Francisco is a whole day of flying. So I'm probably going to go Nashville myself, but San Francisco is supposed to be really cool and I need to get there anyway. So I'll probably be in San Francisco before I'll be in Nashville next. So there is that. Nova Scotia. Now there's a place we really want to go. No, I've only been to PEI, Simon. I have not gotten all the way up to Nova Scotia, but we do need to get there. Because apparently we had relatives that were there, that lived there for a time. So we kind of cool where the family lived for a bit. Tim Hell, where can I find a size chart in your store? So if you're buying like t-shirts, they run pretty true. The unisex ones, the women's stuff runs a little small. Quarter zips, women's run a bit small. The unisex men's ones run pretty true to size. Like this is a 2X I'm wearing right now for this. Also, you shouldn't have to pay anything extra for the extra husky sizes. I told the people never charge extra for we're not having any fat tax on here. So you should be okay with that. But also, there should be an email on there for the company that makes all of our stuff, and you can write them, and they'll have a stuff that can help you out. Okay. Raymond Kaiser, when's your next broadcast? I want to do one before Christmas because I haven't had a lot of time to do a lot of these, but I'll have some more free time because for those of you who don't know, I'm a professor in my day job, and the semester ends next week, so I'll have some more free time. So hopefully I can do some more of these live feeds. Anyway, I will talk to you all later. Matthew Elmakias, how many languages can you speak? That I would feel comfortable teaching in English, Spanish, German, probably Portuguese, a little practice. And then where I feel comfortable being a good tourist, Italian and some French in there. And then to speak enough to get free drinks, Lithuanian. So there's that. Anyway, I wish you all the best. The one must thing you want to do in Lisbon, Portugal, go to the Monastery de Jerónimos, the monastery, and go out to Pastel de Belém next door, have that, and go see that church there. So you have a good time. Anyway, I wish you all the best. I have got to get going because I got to put the kids to bed before Jocelyn gets home so she doesn't kick my butt. Anyway, it's time to Andiamo. Let's go. If you want to grab a shirt, you can go to woltersworld.store and check out some of our other things that are there. They should be able to get to you. Yeah, they'll be able to get to you by Christmas if you're in the U.S. for sure. Otherwise, I wish you all the best. That's on December 4th today. Thank you all for being here and wish you all the best. And I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your week. Bye. And thanks, everybody.